With a steadily expanding pool of weapons to blow your opponents up with, it can be easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer amount of guns to pick from in PlayerUnknown's battlegrounds. That being said, it's worth getting to know what you're going to be coming across if you want to start scoring some sweet chicken dinner with your squad. For our list of the best PUBG weapons, we're going to be focusing on guns you'll probably find lying around without too much difficulty. But before we get started, if you are new on this channel, hit the bell icon so you can watch amazing videos like these in the future. That being said, let's get this list going. VSS. An obvious choice for those of you who like taking the stealthy approach early on. The VSS Vintorez is a bit of a niche weapon, but one that definitely should not be ignored, especially in the early game. It fires 9mm rounds, and while it has both single and automatic fire modes, this gun only has a 10-round magazine. The VSS is the only gun in the game that comes suppressed and scoped with a maximum effective range of 400 meters without any attachments needed. Used correctly, the VSS can level out entire squads in the early game, all while leaving other roaming players in your area completely unaware of where you are. Vector. Laser-sharp close-range precision with 0.45 rounds. The Vector's a submachine gun option chambered in 0.45 and best suited for close range, but don't count it out of mid-range engagements if you've got a steady hand and the gun set to single fire. If that wasn't good enough, it's also very easy to fix the Vector's issue of a small magazine capacity by attaching either an extended or a quick-draw mag to the gun, making having to reload much less of an issue. UMP9. 4 words: extended, mag, hip, fire. The UMP9 is a personal choice when it comes to SMGs for close to mid-range engagements. Like the Vector, the UMP can be fired in single, burst, and full auto modes, but takes 9mm ammunition instead, with a 30-round mag capacity before any attachments. The UMP is also more customizable than most of the other SMG options available for you in PUBG, with slots available for muzzle attachments, foregrips, magazines, and optics. AKM. A thundering barrage of 7.62, wood accents and all. The AKM's a classy piece, wood accents and all. It's the only map-independent assault rifle that takes 7.62 rounds, and because of that, it'll pack a bit more of a punch than its glossier 5.56 slinging counterparts. This makes a single-shot or fully automatic AK absolutely deadly in mid-range, and surprisingly viable in a lot of CQC situations other assault rifles might be a bit unwieldy in. M16A4. An M16 is a no-frills gun, but it'll get the job done. The M16's a simple, no-nonsense weapon. It fires 5.56, offers that generous 30-round standard magazine, and is remarkably accurate even at longer ranges. This gun manages recoil and aiming particularly well, allowing for some pinpoint shots at long range if you've got a steady hand, but as far as volume of fire goes, you'll have to settle for 3 rounds at a time, because the M16 is the only assault rifle in the game that doesn't offer a full auto fire mode. M416. Think of this one as the Swiss Army knife of assault rifles. It's got a good way to do anything. The M416 is a solid all-rounder with plenty of room for customization. Unlike the M16, this gun offers both single and full auto fire modes with the added bonus of attachment slots for stocks and foregrips. Also, unlike the M16, the M416 is 8x compatible, allowing for some much-needed long-range support if the situation calls for it. Scar L. A solid go-to for door kickers and Hawkeyes alike. I like to think of the Scar as a more refined version of the M416. It checks most of the same boxes, the guns are identical as far as customizability goes, save for the SCAR's lack of a stock slot as its heftier brother, but is able to manage recoil to a much more substantial degree, even before putting any attachments on. The Scar, however, packs a bit less of a punch than the M416, meaning you'll have to make an obvious trade-off if you want to utilize this gun's superior accuracy. Mini 14. Give them a snappy 1-2 from 400 meters. They'll never see it coming. The Mini 14 is the only sniper DMR in the game that fires a 5.56 round. It also boasts a much higher single-shot rate of fire compared to other guns in its class. What does that mean in the big picture? It means that the Mini is much more readily able to adapt within most situations, especially compared to other snipers. A higher rate of fire, lower recoil, and slower bullet drop rate means that follow-up shots are easy to take if your first hit doesn't take out a target, and having the option to come out of your scope and pepper the guy nearby trying to flank your squad with some fast semi-automatic fire is nice too. Kar 98K. A quintessential sniper rifle, minus the mad dash to a crate to get one. In PUBG, there are few things as ubiquitous as getting killed by a headshot from a Kar 98K. These snipers are absolute powerhouses chambered in 7.62, and using them in conjunction with an 8x optic strikes fear into the hearts of anyone who doesn't think to scan the tree line in the hills an extra time for good measure. This gun will be enough to down most endgame targets in 1 or 2 shots, probably leaning more towards 1 in most situations, especially if your target isn't wearing a level 3 helmet and a military vest. SKS. A sleek DMR with variable setups, this one will clean 'em out from anywhere. Sure, the SKS doesn't boast the same stopping power as a single shot from a Kar 98K, but it makes up for that in an area that the Kar 98K completely lacks in, the same trait the Mini 14 has in spades. The longer you spend sniping in one spot with a rifle, the more prone you are to drawing heat from nearby squads, especially in the endgame when even suppressing your rifle won't stop other players from being able to locate you via sound. The SKS's 10-round magazine and modest rate of fire gives you more freedom to engage and respond to targets at something other than long range, something infinitely valuable when it comes to a game like PUBG. That's all for today's top 10, I hope you liked the video. If you did, then hit the red button so you never miss out any new video. See you next time.